So this is a simple if and else statement. If I want to do multiple checks, okay, so let me create a class and show it to you. So in the meantime, I'll just put this in the chat because I'm switching to a new class. You can use this also. Copy. Okay. So now I'll create one more class over here. If else example. Okay. So now what I'm going to do here is see carefully. I'm basically going to static void main of string args. Okay, so I just give a hint, and if you go to automation, right, there's no need of this main method itself. So there is a guy called as testng which will take care of this. You don't need to write this one. Okay, so just a hint, once we see automation, I'll show you. Okay, so now what I'm going to do here is I'll just give integer a is equal to 10, integer b is 20, integer c is equal to 30. Okay, so I have defined three variables. Now see my if and else condition, how it plays around. Okay, so now what will happen is if a, we have seen the operators, right, equal to operator, assignment operators and all last class. I'm going to use the same thing over here. Okay, so if a is greater than b, okay, so this condition is going to check now. So what will happen, it will come here, it will put a SISO statement, a is greater than. Tricky team, if you understand this one, you can write any program. Okay, see carefully, three numbers I have defined, 10, 20, 30. That's why I'm in linear fashion so that you won't get confused. A is greater than b. If you put this symbol towards a means we are telling a is greater than b, right? So now if I run this program, what happened? Sorry, I didn't say. Okay, in my console nothing is there. Why? Because three things it has declared. It comes to the if statement. It basically check whether this condition is true or not. Okay, this is not at all a true. So why should it come inside this block? It will not come inside this block. It will terminate the program altogether. Okay, this is one if statement. Now what I'll do is I'll give this else statement also. The else statement, what I'll do is rather giving my code over here, because I have three conditions to check over here. So I can also give else if. So what I'm doing, giving just an else statement, I'll just give else if, and again check a is greater than c. Okay, I'll just put so a is greater than c. Okay, now is this a true statement or not? Let's execute that quickly, see what is happening. Again, it is not true, nothing is being printed in my console. Okay, so now what I'll do is I can write one more else statement. Else if a, I'm telling lesser than b or not, let's check in that condition. So a is lesser than b. Now let's run this program and see what's happened. This will be getting printed. Why? Because condition, based upon the condition, it goes inside that block. Okay, if the condition is a false, it comes to the else if condition. Again, if it is a false, it comes to the else if condition until you reach the last else. This block will be going like this. Okay, so now if I just else a is of no use. Okay, I'm just put something over here. Now let's run this condition code and see what's happening. See, it is not coming to my else. It is basically stopped here, and this complete block has completely done. You understood the point, right? What is this nested? What is happening here? So initially what we did, we just wrote an if and else condition. We were able to check true or false. Okay. Now what I'm doing here, I'm basically nesting it. I'm just giving multiple conditions to check until my condition is getting true. And when condition comes as true, it will basically close the block over there and it will not execute the rest of the condition. It is not going to my else condition itself. It basically stops here and it basically prints this value and it closes my complete check of code. Okay. So not only this condition, I can write one more if condition. If B is greater than A, I can write one more if condition. I say so B is greater than A. You cannot just think, okay, in one Java code, I can have only one if condition. I can have multiple if condition. You take our automation script, right? It will be having multiple if conditions, for loops, while loops, everything will be there in our Java program. Not like if one program can have only one if condition and else condition. If I run this program, this is obviously execute. Sorry, is greater than A. I have to put it. Obviously, this is successfully executed for me. Now, if I run this program, I'll be able to see B is greater than A. So this is how I basically give my conditional statements. Now, if you see here, right? So if else, I can give multiple if. If I want to give one more if, calculating in this inside this if itself, I will just give if okay B is greater than, or I'll just give one more condition, B is greater than or lesser than C. Okay, so now I'll put this inside this one. B is greater than A and lesser than C. I can give multiple looping if conditions like this also. It's like one block, I can open the if condition and just leave it as such. If I run this program, obviously it will be a true for me, right? See, B is greater than A, obviously this is true. And this is also true for me because B is lesser than C. B is 20, C is 30 over here. If I do something like this, I'm just giving the value of C as 5. Now let's see what's happening. Only A is getting, C is getting executed. It is not at all coming to this condition. Why? This B is greater than A. It is true, but condition is a false. It will not come into this execution and it will basically stop as such. Okay, that's why I said it will be bit tricky. But if you understand how this if and else works and how these operators are basically used, you are all in a very good place. Okay, so what I'll do is I'll share this program. You try when you change all these values, you see how this if and else condition working. If you write if condition, you write one more else condition and see how you can play around with this program. Okay, I'll copy this program also in the chat and I'll give it to you. There any questions on this? Okay.